Welcome back to our final heat of the event. It is the men's final of EDP Vissla Ericeira Pro, presented by Estrella Galicia. A packed beach, a scorching Sunday afternoon, and two of the outstanding surfers from this event. Deivid Silva of Brazil, the Goofy, taking on J.Marshall of California, once back on the championship tour.
This is his first wave, 6.67. I've been talking about the flow and momentum and speed, and it feels like it ticks every single thing off the list as we see him just let that flow. It just feels like he's never off rhythm on the wave, and it feels like he's never he's so in tune and connect with the wave. Some combination of some really nice turns. He comes out from behind that section, another foam climb straight into another one. Let's see if he's gonna finish this one off with a banger on the inside. Just a nice roundhouse cut back, and he's gonna belt it one more time. So 6.67.
I think it comes down to just their body. It's just what they were born with.
Good wave here for Silva. Opens up with that ripping turn off the top, and then collects some speed. What's he got for us? He's loading up here. This is ominous for the lip. He belts it, gets that drift, and then again that leverage. The timing's so good from him. Never really arrives early to a section. Doesn't force it. Lets the wave do the work. The lip lines for him have been one of the ways he's been able to link up his ways throughout this event, and he's opening up the final with a bomb here. He's still swinging multiple turns through that midsection. He'll look for a steeper finish. This one will cup out a bit, and he'll get one. And as he surfs around the corner into Alibaba's, he goes out of our view. The crowd seem to enjoy that, and we're underway here. Really cool opening exchange, Philly.
It's going to be right up there with Jake's wave. Nice first snap, but as you can see, it's just now he runs down the line. He gets a little under the lip. Here, it attacks the lip there, comes around the section, a little more horizontal on that one, and it felt like the wave didn't get that steep wall that we've been watching Deivid just attacking those lips. A little bit of a floater goes around the section, stronger on that one, but again the wave just kind of running off of him, and he did a really good job. Obviously he surfed really good, and he had the finishing turn there right on the rocks.
So advantage with the American so far. It's not a huge one, and he'll want to go big again here. He's having a look at a wave. He's interested. Here we go. J.Marshall, second wave for him. Pumps off the bottom. First turn is a figure eight wrap. Just right in the pocket, nice and tight. Then he opens up a bit more and commits and displaces more water with that turn. And then just flings one through the lip with a re-entry. And then a layback, pushing on the tail. And how costly could that prove to be? There's a little collective intake of breath from his squad. Didn't quite nail the finishing turn flick. Silva with a concerted paddle, and he really had to give it arms then, and he eventually gets it. Here we go. First turn is vicious. Bottom turn, and then into the top again, just absolutely cracking it. Wow. That's why he wanted this wave this much, because he got a runner from out the back, and three really rapid turns, just sort of jabbing that wave at such speed. And then there's that long float that he uses so well. And again, going straight up into the lip. And the technique is so dialed in for this wave. It looks a perfect match for Ribeira Diaz, and he loves it.
He really had to get it, but this is why. Nice first turn, a little bit of a speed turn, straight into a second huge one, and straight into a third one, just releasing the tail. Even though it's not the biggest wave we've seen throughout the whole day, it just had that steep wall that you want. And as you said, Paul, he's going to get a little floater around here just to go around the section. He's going to attack it really strong one more time. And another one, a setup turn, because he really wants to finish this one off vertical and power. And look at that. That's got to be one of the best scores of the day so far.
Wow. Holy smokes, people. Hold the phone. These three turns in succession were insane. Yeah, I just... It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it was a smaller wave, but those first three turns, they were just money. So well timed. A little bit of bouncing around to get to this inside section, but once again, lip line float and gets a finish. So super impressive surfing. I think he's definitely going to be applying some pressure to J.Marshall.
Deivid Silva finishing off down there. with some authority
ridiculous.
in front of those rocks. And we're just admiring this technique. If you're a goofy foot surfer and a right-hander,
check
here's your
this out.
textbook right
This
here.
is flow, guys. It doesn't put extra movement on the board. Every time he comes from a turn, it just keeps on going on the same line, straight into a second one, straight into a third one, straight into a fourth one. Now he's gonna he's not moving the board too much. Now it loses a little bit of flow, but it's totally understandable because the wave kind of speeded up, and he comes around the section, hits it one more time, and it's just that one line that you want to see from turn to turn. It's perfect. That's flow.
There's a lot of people on the beach enjoying this display of surfing. There's 5 people up in the tower enjoying it too, because their number's in. And guess what? He's gone excellent. An 8.5 for Deivid Silva, 8.5 for him. We'll have probably about 16 minutes or so. In the meantime, let's get this one from the beginning. That was a great turn to open up.
That was perfect. Straight into a second one and straight into a third one. So a lot of action on the another one, setup turn, and another one. That's his transition, his flow. It's so insane. He just reads the wave so well. We started off right here. That's when we started watching this wave. Just a couple of turns. And fortunately, he fell on that last turn, which sometimes can be a bit of a bummer, especially because the judges really like to see that finishing turn. But you know what? He did an amazing job on the outside. Look at this 3-turn combo on the outside. Just again, look at the flow from top to bottom, surfing with nothing wrong there. Just keeping that flow, keeping that momentum, keeping that speed. Jack is so good in that. Look at the reaction.
Here we go, replay. Jake taking off. This was looking good. Looking like it was standing up. Went straight up into the lip here. Fully released the back half of his board there, fins and all.
A massive vertical turn from him as we just pick that up and he puts it down. Surfing under the priority of Deivid Silva, who quickly realises all the while Jake's in there, it will just be an in and out for Silva. Big legs, getting some blood into them, and he uses them to such great effect on these waves. He'll use priority 2 here. Here he goes, Silva into the takeoff bolt and then off the bottom. And a first whipping turn off the rail. Bit more sting in that one. It was a bit of a steeper face. He'll set himself up again into the lip. And then no time wasted as he goes down the line. Just over that section. A massive backhand hanger. And a huge bottom turn. Another ridiculous backhand maneuver from Deivid Silva. And he's absolutely tearing this wave apart here. That mid part of the ride, the timing was so good. And he'll get a finish on the inside. He's already got an 8.5 locked in. Absolute scenes from the Brazilian crew here.
Oh my God.
Where does this go numbers-wise?
Yes, it just comes off the bottom. Pushes really strong on that one. But it's just a bit of a setup turn again. But every time he hits the lip, it's going to be tons of spray. And I think this is the part where, after this floater, check this out. Coming around the section, wow, a lot of water coming out, and even he dug a little right in there, but he just managed to regroup himself and just attack the lip still. And when he thought like there's nothing else he can do here, he just puts 2 huge finishing turns. Look at that! It's ridiculous, guys. It's so well surfed. Very. Congratulations to Deivid, because he has been. It's just his connection with this wave is pretty impressive. He actually did a 3rd spot on the World Juniors here back in the day. He lost to Vasco Ribeiro, who ended up being World Junior champion. And you can see he definitely has the skill and also the connectivity with this wave, because it's not an easy wave to surf, especially on your backhand. But it looks like he has no problems at all. Look at that.
Judge is having a good look at this. The 8.5 is his high number. Let's see how it compares to that when we do see their score. But just a little bit of variety in these turns as well. He changes them up. The rhythm is so deadly. Flick the spray. I mean, like, again, spray isn't necessarily something that's in the criteria as such, but when you throw lots of it, it always looks impressive. And Deivid just looks great from any angle here.
For sure. I think when you throw lots of spray, it means the turn is well timed as well, and obviously power. But I mean, this is going to be really, really hard to beat. I'm going to say he's obviously improving on that 6.
Oh, he is.
He's making this job a lot harder for Jake.
Oh, here we go. J.Marshall looking to get out of combo on an absolute bomb here. Here he goes with tons of speed. Loads up for the first turn. It's a wrap into the pocket. And then a little patient. That one just pushes a bit wider of the reef because it was such a solid wave. And then uses loads of rail to just knife that one back into a big bit of powerful white water. And then that wave, after forcing him to fade, will just run away from him. And an absolute bomb, but kind of sums up in some ways. He's been a little bit out of the rhythm here in this final.
Here we go, replay of this big bomb that Jake just took off on. Really big wave, but like you said, Paul, just sort of stretched out into the bay, maybe not quite hitting the reef quite properly.
Yeah, because you know what? This is kind of oversized for Ribeiro already, because it just kind of misses that little inside reef. And it's hard to attack the lip on those bigger waves, and as you can see, a lot of wall on it, a lot of water moving, but you just completely misses out on and see the reaction, see the body language. He's so frustrated.
He's heading out here and just looking to cover J.Marshall. Jake
is going to go.
Even if Jake gets a 10 on this, he'll still lose this final by quite a lot of points. And nevertheless, Silva is going to go. So using that priority for a wave final 50 seconds and a massive hammer out the back. Wow, another one. Doesn't push quite as hard on the second turn. And then just clips the lip again. And you feel like he could just do this sort of stuff all until sort of sunset down here, all through the night, and still be doing it tomorrow morning. He's so locked in rhythm right now. And he is having some fun out there as well. He might. It's been an incredible victory for Deivid Silva. You mentioned he was here in the juniors. I mean, his English has come on quite a way since then, but he's so humble in his interviews as well. He doesn't get ahead of himself. He's always bigging up his opponent, and like, a lot of respect for them. And J.Marshall, his opponent in the final, has been amazing this event, but it's just gone a little bit tricky for him in this final. Jake will bring this one in, just showing us the kind of smooth and seamless surfing that's got him into this final in the event, but just didn't really go his way. His total, certainly no disgrace, 13.84. He's got a 7 and a high 6, but he's just come up against someone. Portugal has been a happy hunting ground for Brazilian surfers, and once again another Brazilian champ, Deivid Silva, is your EDP Vissla Ericeira Pro, presented by Estrella Galicia champion. And he'll get chaired up the beach here and listen to this noise.
He deserved it, man. He was the best surfer of the whole contest. Been putting scores up in the 18-point ride and the 18-point scores total pretty much every single heat. And it's well deserved. You can see how many Brazilians are on the beach. It's just it told us on the post-heat interview on the semifinals that it just gives that extra energy, an extra confidence on the water and himself. And as you can see, all the Brazilians just cheering him up. He's got to be that happy. It's going to be a big jump. It's 10,000 points. He's going to be right up there in probably the qualification scenario for him. It's an open door, maybe. It's still 10,000 points, and he's got to be really, really happy.